it's going to get adopted, and there's so little of this stuff out there. I mean, there's 63, 65 million millionaires in the world. Mm-hmm. There's not even enough Bitcoin for every millionaire in the world to own like a third of a Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's easy.
We're talking about something really scarce.
Yeah,
and it doesn't take too many individuals, companies, nation states, municipalities to adopt it for all of a sudden they're just to feel like there's not a lot to go around.
Yeah, and then out of those 21 million, like 4 million are
lost forever.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like 17 million.
Another
really.
couple million hasn't come out yet. Be waiting around to the year 2140. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's pretty scarce.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely scarce.
Absolutely.
I don't think anything else you could say that about.
No, it's not just the scarcity is key, but also the bear aspect of it is as well.
Okay.
You know, you really need to be able to take possession of it for it to have value and for it to, to be something that no one and nothing can seize from you.
So in Nashville, Michael Saylor had a presentation. So his base case by 2040, right, was
2040?
2045. So it's 21 years.
21 years.
21 years. So 20 years from 2045.
Okay.
His bear case was $3 million per coin.
Yep.
His base case was $13 million per coin.
Yeah.
And his bull case was $49 million per coin. So
I remember those numbers.
What do you think about that?
I mean, Michael's an intelligent guy. He put some work into the model. I think he's looking at like a 29% CAGR in his base case or something.
That's bearish, isn't it?
I don't find it constructive to get into that. I just look at it from a more simplistic macro point of view,
Gotcha.
right? It's like, it's very scarce. There's a fixed amount. Everybody in the world is starting to want this stuff. We went from being persona non grata by the administration to in control, not just liked, but in control. And that's powerful. And when the world sees that the US is embracing this, then you get a lot of that game theory, and you'll see other nation states and country, and companies and municipalities clamor to get this. And it kind of starts a little bit of an arms race of, folks around the world trying to accumulate Bitcoin. So where the price goes, I don't know. I do know that relative to other investments, there's no execution risk like there is with a company where management could screw you, miss a quarter, do something unsavory. There's no nation state risk. There's none of these massive risks that face every other type of investment, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it reminds me when you were saying this of something that we were talking about earlier, right? And that was very interesting, right? Which is the idea that the official inflation rate is 3%.
Yeah.
But you say it was 10%. That's like what people are hoping they get on a yearly basis. And if you're saying that, the anticipated, you're not saying this, but in Michael Saylor's presentation, he's expecting 29% for the next 20 or so years. Yeah. It seems like Bitcoin is the only option when you look at it that way. And I think he actually made that case in Nashville.
There will be assets that outperform 29% in any given year for sure, right? There'll be plenty of them. The challenge is, can you do it year after year? And what happens the year after you outperform? Do you outperform for 2 years in a row? Do you outperform for 3 years in a row? What happens in the year that you don't outperform? Do you go bust? And one thing that is proven that investors can't really do is you can't make those predictions. You can't. If it was so easy to pick the top, investors would do that. Mm-hmm. You can't pick a top so easily. So Bitcoin really eliminates a lot of that execution risk, which is part of what makes it unattractive to people on Wall Street, right? It's like Wall Street is based on charging people money for your investment advice, your continued investment advice. If your investment advice is buy Bitcoin, how are you going to make money on that as Wall Street, right? Like, what are you going to tell them next week or next year? Buy more Bitcoin? So, it goes in the face of a lot of what's ingrained in our society. And so I think it's great that there are enough naysayers still. That's why the price is what it is, and it's not 10 million a coin right now. And if one believes that this is going the direction it's going, then this is a gift to you that there are as many skeptics as there are, because that skepticism and those people shorting it, that's what keeps the price down and makes it so that you get to buy more sats for less.
So one of the things that you talked about was just Wall Street. Like, how are they going to make money?
Yeah.
Some people, I'm not saying this, but I've heard other people say it, they call it rent seek, right?
Yeah.
What happens to Wall Street? Because, like, you know, there's a whole industry built on getting you a yearly return. Right?
Don't underestimate Wall Street. Wall Street
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, Wall Street is very savvy. I mean, they will productize Bitcoin in a way that is very lucrative for them. MicroStrategy is a great example of it.
Okay.
Right? I mean, look what MicroStrategy is doing. They're issuing bonds. They're talking about doing preferred stock. They're issuing equity. They're doing they're securitizing Bitcoin in a number of different ways. There'll be Bitcoin-backed mortgages, bonds. Wall Street is extraordinarily innovative. The good news is when they become innovative like this, it's good for the underlying asset, so it's good for Bitcoin. But they will have a seat at the table. They absolutely will. The counterculture Bitcoin anarchist view, yes, those people will have to unfortunately get wealthy at the hands of groups that they may find distasteful, but they're welcome to go find other, anarchist kind of endeavors if it no longer suits their need. But the truth is, if you want to win a war of money, it's won with money, and Wall Street has the money.
Need liquidity without having to sell your Bitcoin? For more than 6 years now, Ledn has been the trusted choice for Bitcoin-backed lending, with transparency, security, and trust at their core. I absolutely love these guys, and I personally have not only an account with them, but also a loan. And some of the key features that I love about Ledn is the fact that there are no monthly payments. You pay at the end of the term. You also have the ability to roll over the loan as well, and you can pay it back whenever you want. Essentially what they do is that they help their clients unlock the liquidity of their BTC, allowing you to HODL while still accessing the wealth of your Bitcoin. They've been battle tested with their focus on transparency, security, and trust, allowing them to build a proven track record of client success and security, helping tens of thousands of clients harness the value of their digital assets with confidence and peace of mind. Learn more about what your BTC can do for you. Check out ledn.io today.